driving a 6-seater car. There is a 7-seater version of this, but this is the 6-seater variant. And it's supposed to ferry someone in comfort in the middle row, you know. But after a while driving it, my god! My god! This handles better. Okay, this can corner harder and more enthusiastically than an XC60. I'm just amazed why. Okay, it's in Mazda's DNA, I would say, to infuse driving enjoyment into their cars. And I never expected it to just go all out, even to their people carriers and all that. But okay, I should have expected this, right? All Mazdas drive like that. Now, this is not the way this car is supposed to be used, but I'm just imagining like one fine day, if I'm the owner of this car, you know, I drop my kids to school and then send my wife to the salon, and I'm just on my own, and sometimes I accidentally pass through some tollgate roads. Hey, it's there. See, the thing is, not everybody can afford a proper family carrier and then have a sports car or have a family sedan, right? Not everybody. Some people buy cars like these as their one and only while the kids are growing up, while they dreamed of something else, you know, sometime down the road in the future. Every man, every father who said that, oh, I really like the XC90, I really like the CX-8, or I really like the Kia Carnival. Not really, alright? We all want a Ferrari with loud exhaust, 2 seats, or one in the middle, alright? And doors that goes up. But every man has to give up something that we yearn, and we'll try to not see it as a punishment, alright? But anyway, okay, putting that aside, yes, you still can do something like that just now. Just to have, it's not even a 5-minute fun. It's a 30-second fun. You know, short little bursts of shenanigans that puts a smile back onto our face, and we go like, okay, that's enough, you know. That helps to de-stress quite a bit. The CX-8 is in a way the long wheelbase version of the CX-5, if you look at it that way. I always felt that the CX-5 has a very beautiful design that were if it is a little bit longer, a tad longer, it will give the car a lot more command or road presence, alright? And then in comes the CX-8. But I kind of felt the CX-8 is a little bit longer than what I was hoping it to be, but it's still within the proper proportions, you know. So you have the CX-8 that you can just park next to a BMW X3, the XC60, you know, things like that, and they match up pretty well. This is a bit larger, and of course, the seats. Right, we gotta check out the seats. Now, do I need to say more about Mazda's steering feel? First thing, alright, the brakes modulation, how they modulate their brakes. Every time you go into a Mazda, right, you will just somehow felt yourself driving cheerfully. From sitting in the driving position, the steering wheel size, the girth of the steering wheel columns, and the placement of everything, even how the brakes react, the throttle reacts, the transmission, all this, let me tell you, Mazda put a lot more homework into all these things than some premium European luxury brands, and a lot more than their Japanese peers. Even though the big brother of Japan, after having partnered up with Mazda, seems to put some effort into this as well. Alright? Let's re-look at the car, because the last round I got this, it was a 7-seater, and let's explore the car together. This is also the car that another very famous Chinese YouTube car reviewer, Tai Chui, he bought it for himself. That I think I watched that video. He mentioned that he actually wanted the CX-9, but then he went for this instead. You know, I understand the difference. For me, I prefer the CX-9's design, the CX-9's soundproofing, the CX-9's overall road presence, everything about the CX-9 I love about it. But I also understand why there are so many people out there who buys the Macan instead of the Cayenne. There is a difference, alright? When you drive the car, when you zip around, it's different. Big, huge cars can be well engineered to give you tidy handling, like an XC90, right? BMWs, I mean, of course. Cayenne, yes. Cayenne, in fact, sporty, alright? XC90 is tidy, steers well, drives well. The Kia Carnival, right? The CX-9, of course. However, there is a huge difference between manhandling a big thing and having fun in a smaller thing, alright? This one allows you to do so. This one you can still zip around like a CX-5, whereas a CX-9 is different, alright? It is quite a different experience, okay? And of course, interior design wise, there is a lot of hints that comes from the CX-9, and that also helps differentiate this car versus the CX-5 sibling, okay? Let's look at the car. In terms of drive, we all know modern Mazdas are quiet, they steer really well, they drive really well. It's just that it's either NA or diesel, so let's look at the cars.
When I switched to Pro mileage, in my case, I got 46-47% of savings for that car.
Pro mileage was the only one that gave me 5,000 extra value to cover, yet still cheaper, a lot less. Turn up!
Okay, I'm seated inside the CX-8, a very familiar sight, right? This is Mazda's classic dashboard design, right? The small and simple infotainment screen that is controlled via this dial, this very well finished sort of neural pattern, but it's plastic, the enclosure, but it works well to select things, and it's so simple: applications, entertainment, communication, navigation, and settings. It's straightforward. Just press in and then you have the menus, scroll, and then this dial is also a toggle, right, up and down, so multiple ways of selection. See that? I can either rotate or toggle. So it's one of those systems that they are so logical that you practically have zero learning curve, all right? And here you have the rev counter. As you can see, it's a diesel. 5 to 6,000 RPM will be the rate zone, okay? And across the center dial, and then here there's a colored screen, all right, where you can show more information. And here we have the iStop, which is like a start-stop, all right? And then you can turn off the lane departure lane warning, okay? Traction control, you can press view, and then you get to see 360 camera system. But of course, the quality, I would say, is not par with the top range luxury car. It is a totally usable resolution. And when you turn the steering wheel, you can see the lines actually correspond, okay? So that's very good, okay? Here you have leather wrap dash, leather wrap door cards, you know, and then leather wrap steering wheel, nice stitching, and the steering wheel size is just nice. It's a very nice size, either for the hands of a petite lady or a man, you know, it's well judged. Okay, the door cards here, you have some wood inlays that look like wood, but they're not real wood, but it doesn't matter, it looks good. Okay, and then we have the door handles, some inlays here, and then this part actually is soft touch. All right, it's soft touch. And then this one, leather wrap armrest as well, full length all the way, doesn't pass through, but it's not very deep, so you can't put a mobile phone actually here. All right, you can probably put shillings. I would say even a smart tag is not really stable here because it's small. It's not like it's deep, you know. If it's deeper, you can put more stuffs. Okay, so the window control buttons, everything feels good. This is not an expensive car. Okay, I have to say this is not an expensive car. All right, but it's just that this segment, you know, it's a 7-seater or 6-seater, and then you have all this luxurious stuff and all that. Mazda is of course thinking and behaving and reacting like a premium brand, but they're not charging you premium brand prices. You must always remember this. All right, Mazda is charging you very, very reasonable prices for what they're giving you. All right, we have to learn how to differentiate that. Don't come into a Mazda, feels that everything looks so good, so high quality, and then immediately you set your expectations on a car that is about 300,000-400,000. There is a difference here. All right, there is a limitation to what they can give you. Okay, they can give you these really nice cold to the touch vent casing, which also acts like a, you know, like a eye candy in the cabin. The moment you look at a picture of the car's interior, these two things will catch your eyes. You know, they look good, they feel good, and when you touch them, they feel really good. It feels like it feels like two solid piece of aluminium this place here, but I'm sure it's some form of, I don't know, some form of cladding, but it just feels so real. All right, it feels so real, so nice. And the buttons are all here for the aircon control. Right, all the buttons are really nice to press. They feel like BMW buttons. They feel, you press them, you know, the feedback, and it's quiet. It doesn't go like Audi's tuck 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 tuck. You know, this feels really nice. In fact, when I was in Mazda's R&D center, they openly tell us that they admire BMW when it comes to everything, almost everything. So they actually look at BMW and they wanted to make their cars all just like how BMW does. All right, these are very nice, very quality. Okay, and then the screen, very simple. Here we have a start stop button. Okay, the gear levers, nothing special, but it's leather wrap with some metal accents. Again, Mazda is the only one that does all this amongst his peers. All right, very nice. And here we've covered it just now, but you have some shortcut keys, you know, to music, media, home, navigation. You know, this one, a quick knob for volume and to silent it. Very dedicated to have one button just to do that. This whole part is actually gloss black plastic, which also means that, you know, sometimes it gets a little bit scratchy, sometimes it gets some static dust, you know, stuck on it. Here we have a nice compartment where, because of the contrast, let me show you, put my wallet there. Very nice. It's rubberized, so it's nice, and things won't, you know, make all kinds of sound here because it's a rubberized surface. Okay, and it's also pretty snug and secure, so the stuff that you put inside, they really wouldn't come out that easily. Up here you can see the heads-up display panel. Can't see the visual. Okay, you can see it. Yeah, here look at the glove box. It drops down slowly and it's covered in, yes, a felt. See, I told you, Mazda is doing and thinking what the premium brands are doing and thinking, but they're not charging you premium brand prices yet. Okay, so over here, sorry for my masks, we have the cup holders, and here's how the key looks like. Okay, nothing special, but it's nicely pocketable. Okay, the buttons feel great, doesn't feel super cheap. Okay, here we have these spring loaded, the back, so you can put your drinks. You know, I mean, it feels more sophisticated than just having, you know, 2 cup holders that are static, right? Okay, here, the center armrest. Center armrest is really nice. You know, it's leather wrap, and the best part is that your passenger, you know, can open and put his or her stuff, and then you can also open yours and your stuff. Basically, when that person is putting their hands here resting, you can have access to the armrest, or the driver is doing this, that person also has the access. The thing is, I know some cars, they make the dual opening, right? But when it's dual opening, when you open this side, there's this whole lid will be up here, and it actually blocks the access. That person's hand has to have an awkward angle to take their stuffs and all that. So by just simply doing this, you get a nice opening and flexible usage of it. Inside we get 2 USB ports, an auxiliary, SD card slot, and a nice carpeted compartment inside. Mazda. Alright, here are the wipers with automatic, headlamps with automatic as well. And down here we have a lever that we can adjust the steering wheel, including telescopic as well. Here we have a very nice sunglass holder, so lady drivers would appreciate that. Here we have a card holder, and then, oh, this is much higher quality than a lot of cars, you know, visor, so very nice. It feels good, you know, the resistance, the click, the reassuring click of closing it is nice. So mirror, lights, and then card holder. Over here, no card holder, just mirror and lights, but it feels nice. Okay, let's go to the second row. Okay, this car doesn't have a sunroof or panoramic roof, so that's why the second row or inside here is a little bit dark, but I'm gonna let in more light. Okay, this is my leg room. I get a lot of leg room between me and the front seats. There is a very pronounced hump over here, or transmission tunnel as we used to call it. All right, and I can slot my feet underneath. There's a pocket here, and then we have air conditioning with your own controls. Okay, there are no air conditioning vents here, only here. All right, but we get a center console, an entire console in the middle. Okay, I have a storage. Is there another storage? So I can put some stuffs over here. Pretty cool, but it's just a drawer to put stuffs. And then I have the cup holders, seat ventilation or heating. This is heating. Okay, so some people with a sore back, or some women would say that when they have their periods, they like warm seats. Okay, so over here we get another 2 USB ports, and then with a rather deep compartment inside here. Nothing much. Let me show you. Yep, just like that. Okay, and that's the whole console. So its main purpose is to serve as an armrest, and then as a cup holder. Yep. I don't feel that my seats are any way bigger. Okay, but it's a comfortable seat. But it's not like a giant captain seat or something. To me, I think it feels more or less almost the same as the front seats. Alright? So sitting here, I get really good visibility. Alright. This one is spring loaded. And then I get my own line. Alright. The door card's build quality is the same as the front one. So that's a welcome sight. you know, the other day I was reviewing a luxury car, and the rear door card is noticeably different from the front one. Okay, so yeah, that's nice. So this is the second row. Of course, you get your ISOFIX and all that to install baby seats. Now let me figure out how to go to the rear. Okay, so just to let you have a look again, the amount of space I have here. Okay, headroom. I get like an entire palm of headroom, and are the seat backs adjustable? Oh, they are. Okay, but unlike the expander that I tried, when you lower the seat back, the seat base actually raise up to change its angle so that the whole thing matches. This one is just purely the seat back going down. Alright, so I can actually go pretty slanted. Okay, now let me pull it back up. Let's look at the third row, shall we? Now in order to access the third row, I believe I pull this and this should slide all the way, and there is a noticeable height difference between this floor and this one. This one is noticeably higher. Okay, let's go inside and have a look. This is the third row. Let me pull this back. Okay, at the back here, what is that? Let me try. Oh, this is for when we fold these seats down flat, I presume. This will be the hook for luggage. Alright, so here we get like a cup holder with a cutout so you can put your tablets and all that, but it's mainly for you to put stuff, your wallet and all that. Okay, and the seats, the leather quality is very nice. Okay, and I think it's not bad, but it's not the best so far. I think in terms of a lot of mid-size SUV that has 3 rows, this has got to be one of the comfortable ones. But as you can see, the angle of my legs was because of the higher floor at the back here. The higher floor means my legs are up like that. Okay, another thing would be, for those of you who are thinking of buying, you should take note the placement of this rail, because they don't want to block you from ingress and egress, right? So this is sort of like halfway here instead of there. So the feet, you want to try and angle that side, but then the wheel well is here. Same goes to the left side as well. So this is just something to take note for those thinking of buying. This is more for kids, I would say, or petite lady adults. But it's not as, I've seen like the 7-seater CRV, the 7-seater, like the X-Trail and all that. They can't compete with this. Okay, those really are +2s, only +2s. This can qualify as a 6-seater or 7-seater, but the rears are in between that of a full-fledged and like fully cramped in, that type. So this is not fully cramped in, but as you can see, someone of my height, even though I sort of fit, but my head is already brushing on the roof and my legs are angled that way. Okay, going out, I think both seats are identical. I will still just go out from here, push it all the way there, and then hold this, pull myself up. Yeah, let's look at the boot. And ingress and egress, because this one doesn't tumble forwards, that's the max. So I need to take a little bit of precaution. So kids will find it very easy to go in and out. Adults would struggle a little bit because of the high boot floor. Okay. It gets a powered boot. Now even with 3 rows up, you still get some storage space, but it's already, because of the high floor, okay, because of the high floor, this part is a little bit minimal. Now let's try and do this. You should drop the front, and then okay, same goes. You pull this, it goes down like that. Okay, so that's the flat folding part. And what's underneath here? Storage, extra storage that has some soundproofing type of quality. And then you have the wheels underneath. So it's like a dual layer. Alright, so once it's folded flat, it's actually pretty big to store your stuff, but it's not like a deep, it's not like there is a deep compartment in there, as you can see how high it is. Alright, but nevertheless it is still a flat loading area, and you can put a lot of stuff in here, and then now it becomes a full-fledged 4-seater. Alright, so you get some hooks over here. It says max, how many kg? 3 kg. Okay, that's the boot of the CX-8. And then the powered boot. Here, let me adjust it back. All the way. Now it's a proper luxury 4-seater or 5-seater if you buy the 7-seater version. Now let's look at the proportions of the car. Right, it's more proportionate, right, compared to the CX-5. CX-5 sort of ends here, like that. Yeah, it's a good-looking car. It's a good-looking mid-size SUV that has the length to become like a full-size, but it doesn't carry the width of the full-size SUV. Same in front is the handsome looks of the CX or the Mazda new generation design. Huge grille. Of course, this is the diesel car. You will hear the diesel engine, but inside it's actually very quiet, okay? And you get button type of keyless entry, which is more assuring. You know, you press instead of trying to sense it. All right, CX-8 all-wheel drive. The best part with Mazda diesels, they provide the power without giving you the smell. I've been stopping here spewing fumes. There's no annoying diesel smell. You know, that's a very, very good part. I kid you not, I stay in that condo. Sometimes lobby there are diesels waiting there and just starting, you know, like post laju and all that, right? The fumes actually goes up and goes into your house. Okay, here we get like a aluminium sill with the CX-8 proudly emblazoned there. Okay, so as far as I know, this car is around that of 200,000 ringgit. So this actually, in terms of price point, it competes with the Kia Carnival. But in terms of proposition, it's actually very different. Alright, Kia Carnival is tax-free, hence arriving at this price, but it's also a very, very big thing. Even though it handles well, it's nimble enough, but it is still a very big car that you might not be able to just enjoy your drive like that, you know. This one you can, while still serving the family. So would you prefer the 6-seater and get a proper console at the back there for your drinks, for your arms, and have a little storage down there, or you prefer to just go for the 7-seater? Let me know. And that is the full review of the Mazda CX-8 all-wheel drive diesel. Cheers.